Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I am glad you're here. I appreciate you guys stopping by to watch the content. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it and you'd like to be notified when I release new content, please hit that subscribe button down below and the bell notification icon next to that. I'd really appreciate it. And just a special shout out and thank you for the channel members. Thank you guys so much. Today, I wanted to talk about a very cool little fixed blade that I unboxed a couple of weeks ago. And this is by Combat Beads, or the Griffin company. It's got great retention on this Kydex sheath. This particular one is marble carbon fiber. We will have a scale swap coming up soon, but check out the retention on this sheath. It jettisons out and then it leaves you with the Combat Beads, aka Griffin Company Scout 2.5. So this is a small EDC fixed blade. It is about, well, we're going to call it less than 7 inches long, maybe about 6.5 inches long. We'll get some measurements here in a sec. With right under a 3-inch blade of full tang construction. It is Stonewashed S35VN for the blade steel, and it has marble carbon fiber. Currently, for the scales, you can remove these scales with, I believe I don't have my bit driver, either T6 or T8. You can pop these scales off and replace them with either titanium, brass, or various colors of micarta. I've got a set of micarta coming just because I think they might be kind of cool. The carbon fiber came with the knife. I picked it up on the secondary from a cool dude on a NAF sale. Shout out and thank you to you. Um, Anyways, the Scout 2.5. What can I say about it? I know the title was a little bit, was it sarcastic? Is it a knife that makes for a good EDC knife? Guys, I don't know if you saw the unboxing, but it was a 20-minute struggle bus video, 25 minutes of struggle bus video with me trying to get one of my IWB straps that was obviously defective mounted to where it would actually snap on to this little slit sheath, Kydex sheath. I went back to the drawing board, got a couple of leather straps, carried it like that for a while. Got this ulti clip that I've had for ever too. It's a 3.3 or the ulti clip slim, I forget which, and it happens to fit on this sheath just perfectly. So I carry this with the ulti clip in my back right pocket. So when I draw it out of my back. I don't currently have it set up to carry Scout, or to carry appendix, but I'm fine with that because again, when I've got this in my back pocket and I go to just simply push on this button, it pulls the knife out. So the knife is not going to pull the sheath with it when you draw it. So anyway, the Griffin Company Scout 2.5. It is, again, Stonewashed blade, nice sharpening choil. You can see there where your plunge grind comes down about halfway through the sharpening choil. It does have a place here etched out of the scales and cut through the tang for a lanyard or small lanyard, which might come in handy if you have bigger hands to give you a little bit more purchase on this knife. You do have some jimping here on the heel as well as here where the thumb goes. So it's got good jimping, but not too aggressive, but I would call it very usable jimping. Let me grab a piece of paper and we will see if it still cuts. Keep in mind, it has been through the ringer and has not been sharpened. I can still feel a lot of bite on the blade. It's probably going to be my inability to cut. It'll still cut. Wouldn't hurt to be stropped. But yeah, very sharp, very handy little knife. I've been carrying this knife in addition to my primary folder. Today, that would be the Liang Ma Field Duty folder. Falling in love with that knife. Sorry to keep always having it, but it's when I'm happen to be filming. And I have a slip joint in my pocket today, which is a smaller Spyderco Rhodey. Got smuts on it from where I cut. So the Scout 2.5 will probably, if any packages come, not that I'm expecting any, will probably get most of the cutting tasks today. That's just how it works. This knife has empowered me to use it for just about anything my EDC brings my way. So if I took this knife to work, which I don't because I work in an office currently, but if I take this knife anywhere else and I've got it where it's invisible in my back pocket, clipped to my jeans, I don't even feel it, don't sit on it, leaves no hot spots or prints in my pocket, you don't even know it's there. If I go to pull this out and use it, it is very reliable, whether I'm going through paper, cardboard, if I'm having to cut some wood to feather stick. This knife, like I say, I don't want to make a ton of splinters, but it'll definitely get the job done. And don't cut like me, kids, because that was unsafe. I should have had a glove on. I should have been cutting away from myself. But what do you do when you see a piece of wood and you're not able to cut paper? The knife is very sharp, and I absolutely love it. So much so that I have reached out and, like I said, picked up another set of scales for this, from some micarta scales. I think they came in right at 30 bucks for 2 scales. They make a little Scout Medic that's currently sold out, but it's this knife shorter with a shorter blade and a much thinner handle. When it comes back out, I will definitely grab it. And I had to use every bit of finesse and strength that I had not to buy one of the last 2 Scout F3 folders that they have right now. This knife is made by Bestech. So is the F3 folder. I'll leave the link to Combat Beads, where you can look at their knives, their watches, their beads, all their stuff. But you can look at this knife that's currently sold out. You can look at the Scout folder, which is this knife in a folding version. And you can look at some of their other cool stuff. So let's do a couple of quick size comparisons to see how big this little Scout really is. So that is it next to the Civivi Baby Bantam. And that is it next to the Benchmade Bug Out. And this is it next to the Benchmade Baby Bug Out. So as you can see, it's about baby bug out size, mini bug out. But let's look at it next to a few fixed blades that we all might be used to. One is the good old SE3, and the SE3 is a much larger knife. Next up, we have the Bradford Guardian 3, which is just a smidge longer. I might call it a 1/4 inch longer, maybe a 1/16. And then let's look at it next to the Shed Knives Skr, this big hunk of 154 cm. It's going to be smaller than the Skr. And let's look at it next to another little new knife that I brought in, my LT Wright Frontier First. So I think you're going to see that the Scout, for me at least, comes in at a very good size. Now, of course, the Skr is going to be much thicker. But if we want to look at some handle comparisons, I did get the contoured handles on the Bradford, but the Scout's going to have a much narrower grip. Even though you've got blade stock that's going to be, the same size or thicker in some cases than some of these other knives. So let's do a couple of quick measurements on it, and we will take a wrap. We'll get a weight on it too while we're here. Let's see. I'm looking for my Javon tape measure, promotional style, with a sticker on it. And it tells me that this knife is indeed 6.5 inches with a blade of 2 3/4 and a handle of 4 inches. What I consider handle, it's going to be about 3 3/4. So I measure from here to right here. That gives me 3 3/4. If I only had 3 fingers, I'd have a lot of room for that pinky. You've got, I think, plenty of room for a bigger hand. If you guys want to see some cut tests on this particular knife and see some thorough reviews, go check out Stassa 23. I'll try to remember to leave a link in the video because he ran this knife through its paces. 2.5 inches on the cutting surface, and again, that's S35VN. And the blade stock on this little knife, is that 14 thousandths, 0.1415. I think should be able to say that's 14 thousandths. I don't know. And then behind the edge, the best I can get behind the edge, right above the bevel, 0.0055. Let's see if that's right there, right above that bevel. 0.0125, 0.0120. And again, guys, I don't know how accurate my measurements are, but I can tell you that this is much smaller than a 1/2 inch in thickness. Much is an overstatement too, but it's 0.48, and just a fantastic little knife. So the Scout, I'd seen it, I liked it, I resisted buying it. I thought it was going to be too big for me. Kind of got bummed that I didn't get the little medic, the Scout medic, because it's a smaller knife. But then I was kind of glad that I didn't because it looked a little too small. Saw Stassa's review on this knife, and it absolutely cinched it for me. I mean, after watching his review on this knife and what he put it through and how much he thought about it, how much he thought of it, made me decide when I saw it on NAF sale to grab it. Plus, I met a really cool guy on there, the guy who sold it to me, Mike. Thank you, Mike. If I got your name wrong, it's because I'm an idiot, but you knew that when you started talking with me. Guys, I appreciate you more than you know. I appreciate you watching my EDC reviews, my knife reviews, overviews, and sharing the way they make me feel. This knife makes me feel great. I love having it on me. I know I'm going to be up to dealing with pretty much whatever I need to deal with, even save my Slurpee, heaven forbid. But guys, thanks again, and please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.